Hey guys, my name's Yvette and welcome to my DIY channel, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. So for today's video, I wanted to share with you just some random air dry clay projects that I made. So let's get started. For this project, I'm going to make a Monstera wall hanging, and so I sketched out a little Monstera leaf the best I could. I'll look for a free Monstera outline and link it if I can find one, or I'll link some from Etsy. I started off by rolling out my clay, and then I placed my stencil on top and traced it out. If you can tell on the stencil, I have a dot towards the top of the leaf and by the bottom, and those are because I want to poke holes where those dots are so that I can string some macrame cord through this and be able to hang this on the wall. I totally forgot to poke the holes where I wanted them, so I added this stencil back to make sure I put them in the right spot. I'm using a straw to help me poke out the holes on my Monstera leaf. And then I'm using some water to help me blend out the edges. I ended up tracing out a total of 3 Monstera leaves doing the exact same steps, and you can trace out as many as you want. It just depends on how long you want your wall hanging to be. And I'm going to let these dry for about 2 days. Now that my Monstera leaves are dry, I'm going to sand them and then paint them. You can paint all of your leaves fully green, but I wanted mine to have the variegated look, so I added white to all of mine. I'm going to seal these with Deco Art's Ultra Matte Varnish. To put my wall hanging together, I'm going to use some macrame cord, 2 wooden beads, and then some off-white yarn that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make a tassel out of that. I'm going to start off by cutting out a really long piece of macrame cord, and this is what I'm going to string all of the leaves through. Make sure that your piece of macrame cord is folded evenly in half, and then I'm going to tie a knot towards the top. Okay, so now I'm going to start stringing the macrame cord through the leaves, and I did tape off the ends to make it easier to pull the macrame cord through the holes. After the first leaf, I'm adding in a wooden bead. Now I'm going to add in my last wooden bead. I totally forgot to film making the tassel, but now I'm just going to tie it in on the bottom of this wall hanging, and that's pretty much it. We're done. For this next project, I'm gonna make a pancake trinket box. So roll out some clay and try to make it at least 1/4 of an inch thick. I found this little round thing in my supplies. I have no idea what it's from, but I'm gonna use this to cut out my pancakes. You could also use like a small plate or like a cup to help you trace yours out. The circle on the left is my first pancake, and that's for the bottom, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And the one on the right, I'm going to cut out a circle inside of the middle of it to hollow it out because we want this to be a trinket box. And I'm just using my needle tool to cut out the circle in the middle. I rolled out some more clay and I'm cutting out more pancakes and doing the exact same thing. I ended up tracing out a total of 7 pancakes and cut circles inside of 5 of them. This one was my 7th pancake, and I left this one alone because this one's going to be for the lid of our pancake trinket box. I'm adding some water to the bottom pancake to keep the clay moist, and then I'm also using some water to help blend the pancake on the right. Now I'm going to start to attach these to each other, and so I'm going to score and slip the clay. And to score the clay, I'm using my feather wire tool, and then I'm going to add some slip on top with a small paintbrush. And then I'm going to place the pancake on the right on top. And I'm going to keep repeating the same step until all of my pancakes are attached, and you can keep this pancake box really neat by placing all of the pancakes on top of each other like perfectly even, but I wanted mine to look like a little bit sloppy, so some are going to be more towards like the left or the right, or like to the side, so that not each pancake is perfectly in line. I wanted this to be a little bit like messy-ish. Okay, so this is my last pancake that has a hole in it, so this is going to be the one on top. And so now I'm going to take my modeling tool and I'm going to blend the inside of these all into each other. This looks good, so I'm going to set this aside for a sec and work on the pancake lid. This is the pancake that I'm going to use for the lid, and I'm adding some water to it to help blend it out. I rolled out some more clay and I'm going to trace out a small circle, and I'm going to attach the small circle to the middle of my pancake on the bottom of the lid, and this is so that when you place the lid on top of your pancake box, it'll stop it from like sliding off. I'm going to decorate the top of my pancake, and so I rolled out some more clay and I'm going to cut out 2 squares, and these are going to be like 2 butter pieces on top of the pancake. I'm going to attach the 2 squares by scoring and slipping the clay. Off camera, I made 2 strawberries, and if you've seen my cottagecore magnet video, you can see how I make my strawberries there. And now I'm just going to attach them. I also wanted to add some blueberries, so I rolled out small balls of clay and I'm attaching them with some slip. I'm using my paintbrush to kind of wipe off some of that extra slip I have on there. Okay guys, so here's the pancake box, and these are what the stacked pancakes look like for me. And so now I'm gonna let these dry for like 2 to 3 days. Here are our pancakes now that they're dry, and then when you place the lid on top, look, it won't slip off, which is great. And so now I'm gonna sand these and then paint. I'm gonna seal the inside of the trinket box with some matte varnish. For the outside of the trinket box, I wanted a glossy look, so I'm using Deco Art's triple thick gloss glaze. To get the maple syrup look on top of my pancakes, I'm adding some of the gloss glaze into a small cup, and I'm adding a drop of brown paint. I still want this to be like semi-translucent because I want to be able to see like the butter and the fruit through the syrup, so that's why I'm only adding a tiny bit of paint. And then I'm just going to pour the gloss glaze on top of the pancakes, and then I'm going to use a paintbrush to help me move the syrup around to kind of like look like how I want it to look. And this is how it ended up drying, and you can totally still see like the butter and the fruit through the syrup, which is great, and I love this. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys try one of these projects out and subscribe for more DIYs, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!